And it's a power walk with purpose. 2 Minnesota firefighters are hitting the trail to raise awareness for a cause close to home. The event, known as MN Fire, kicked off at Duluth Fire Station headquarters on West 2nd Street. Over the next week, 2 firefighters will walk from Duluth to St. Paul. That's 20 miles a day, covering a total of 150 miles. And the goal? To shine a light on the major health challenges firefighters face, from cancer risk to mental health struggles.
A lot of people don't know the stark statistics of the top 3 killers, which is cancer, cardiac, and suicide. Related to cancer, firefighters die at about a 14% higher rate than the common population. On average, we're going to lose about 50% of firefighters in line of duty deaths due to cardiac events. We also lose, on average, every year about 100 firefighters due to suicides.
The walkers are expected to arrive at St. Paul a week from tomorrow, bringing their message of support and awareness every step of the way.